She won't say it out loud, but her silence is louder than a confession. If you miss this, you'll spend years wondering why she slipped through your fingers. Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you isn't written in dating books or shouted on podcasts. These are the quiet signals women reveal only when their emotional guard begins to collapse. When a woman wants to give herself to you, not just her body, but her trust, her loyalty, her future, her nervous system starts behaving differently around you. And most men misread it completely. The first hidden sign is not attraction, it's surrender of control. Watch how she stops managing the moment when she's with you. She doesn't rush to fill silences. She doesn't perform. She lets awkward pauses breathe. This isn't boredom. This is safety. A woman only releases control when she feels emotionally held. If she's always on, always impressive, always sharp, she's still guarding herself. But when she allows herself to be unpolished, tired, even uncertain around you, she's testing something deep, whether she can exist without armor and still be wanted. You'll notice it in the way she shares stories, not the rehearsed ones she's told 100 times, but the half-finished memories, the ones that trail off because they still carry weight. She won't dramatize them, she'll understate them, and if you lean in instead of trying to fix, advise, or impress, she'll go further. This is her nervous system asking a quiet question. Are you safe enough to hold what hurt me? Another sign appears in conflict, not affection. When she wants to give herself to you, she doesn't disappear at the first sign of tension. She stays. Even if she's upset, even if she's quiet, even if she doesn't have the words yet, withdrawal is easy. Staying emotionally present when things feel unstable is costly. If she chooses that cost, it means she sees value in what you could become together, not just how you make her feel in the moment. Pay attention to how she responds to your boundaries. A woman who wants to give herself to you doesn't try to erode them. She may question them, but she won't punish you for having them. In fact, something subtle happens. She relaxes when you say no, because your restraint signals strength, and strength signals safety. Weak men think constant availability is attractive. It isn't. Consistency with self-respect is. You'll also see a shift in her curiosity. She stops interrogating your status and starts exploring your inner world. She asks how you think, not what you do. She wants to know what shaped you, not what you own. This is intimacy forming beneath the surface where desire transforms into devotion. If you felt this before, you know how rare it is. And if you haven't, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means no one taught you how to recognize it yet. The second hidden sign is in the little sacrifices she makes, but not in ways most men notice. It's not about giving up money, time, or effort in a way that's visible. It's in what she quietly tolerates for your comfort, what she adjusts in her routine to let you exist in her life without friction. She'll laugh at your jokes even when they're not funny. She'll stay up a little later or wake up a little earlier without complaint. These are invisible concessions, but they're heavy with meaning. A woman who wants to give herself to you is constantly calibrating her world around yours, not out of obligation, but out of care. And if you catch yourself thinking, is she really this nice to everyone? Pay attention, she isn't. She's picky about her energy, she's offering it to you. Then there's emotional vulnerability. Watch how she handles fear, shame, or embarrassment around you. Most women wear a mask of confidence or detachment until they're sure the man they're with won't misuse what he sees. But a woman on the edge of giving herself will slip. She'll let sadness or worry show. She'll whisper secrets she's never told friends. She'll admit insecurities she usually buries. And the key here is not what she shares, but how she does it without weaponizing it, without using it to manipulate. It's raw, unpolished truth. And truth is heavy currency in human connection. If she's doing this, she's signaling something deeper than attraction. She's testing whether your presence can hold the weight of her inner life. Physical proximity is another silent indicator, not the obvious flirting or touch, but the subtler patterns. She moves closer in small ways, mirrors your posture without realizing it, leans into your presence when others would step back. You might think she's just being friendly, but every inch she closes is a quiet bridge she's building to you. The moment she intentionally crosses these invisible boundaries, She's making a choice to let you exist in spaces where she normally protects herself. Men often overlook this because it feels natural, but that naturalness is deliberate on her part. She's testing gravity with your trust. Listen to her attentiveness. She remembers small details about you, not just facts, but nuances. The way your voice changes when you're tired, the words you use when you're nervous, the fleeting expressions that flash across your face. She doesn't do this casually. She does it because she's emotionally invested in learning your inner mechanics. And the more she remembers, the more she's mentally rehearsing a life that includes you. This is devotion forming quietly, a shadow beneath every smile, every laugh, every casual touch. Finally, notice how she communicates when she's upset or needs space. She won't withdraw silently if she's truly letting herself be vulnerable. Instead, she signals clearly, but gently. She trusts that you will respond with stability rather than panic. The more she relies on you to hold steady in her emotional storms, the closer she is to giving herself fully. Most men confuse drama for depth. Real depth doesn't shout. It leans on the person who matters and quietly tests whether they can hold it. This is the difference between desire and surrender. Desire is fire. Surrender is water. She's giving herself to the man who can carry both. And every subtle gesture, every invisible sacrifice is her way of measuring whether you can. The third hidden sign isn't something she shows with words or gestures. It's in the way she talks about the future, not in a vague someday way, but in subtle, almost imperceptible markers of inclusion. She starts saying we instead of I. When she's describing plans, she imagines scenarios where you're present, not as a hypothetical guest, but as someone whose presence is necessary for her sense of comfort or joy. Most men dismiss this as casual conversation. It isn't. Every time she folds you into her mental map of tomorrow, she's silently testing your response. She's gauging whether your energy matches the responsibility of being someone's chosen person. Pay attention to her excitement about shared experiences. She doesn't just want to spend time with you in the moment. She wants to imagine it in ways that go beyond fun. She'll mention things she wants to do with you months from now, places she wants to take you, even meals she wants to cook. It sounds trivial, but there's a profound psychology behind it. She's signaling that her emotional investment is growing. A woman who is merely interested won't bother imagining continuity. Only a woman on the edge of surrender, who is contemplating intimacy on a deep level, starts projecting life with you. Another layer is the way she tests your reliability without realizing it. She'll ask small favors, not because she's manipulative, but because she's checking whether you show up consistently. Can she trust you when she's vulnerable? Will you respond with stability, calm, and patience? Or will she be met with frustration, judgment, or flakiness? These tests are rarely conscious. They happen in everyday moments. Missing a call, changing plans, needing emotional reassurance. Her reactions aren't about drama. They're about measurement. She's determining if you're a container strong enough to hold her unpredictability and imperfections. Observe how she integrates you into her world, even socially. She introduces you to friends or family, but not in a casual, superficial way. She lets you into the spaces where she is most herself, the spaces where she has historically been guarded. This isn't about showing off, it's about trust. Allowing you to see these layers of her life is her way of saying silently, I am giving you a piece of my world because I believe you can handle it. The deeper she goes, the more intimate her integration, the clearer the signal. She's considering a union that's beyond surface attraction. The way she reacts to your needs versus her own is another indicator. She doesn't lose herself, but she negotiates. She compromises. She adapts in subtle ways without resentment. These adjustments aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of prioritization. She's emotionally calculating, weighing your presence against her comfort and choosing inclusion over self-protection. Men often misread this as submission or compliance. It's neither. It's strategic emotional investment, the quiet language of a woman willing to give herself fully to someone she trusts. And finally, notice the energy she leaves behind. After spending time with her, you don't feel drained or unsure. You feel recognized, seen, even challenged in ways that awaken a deeper part of yourself. That lingering energy is a marker of intention. She isn't just flirting, she's signaling that your connection matters on a level that could redefine both of your lives. When you start seeing these patterns, understand this. She's not testing for attraction. She's testing for a vessel strong enough to carry her mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If you can rise to meet her depth, you found something few men ever recognize. The fourth hidden sign is almost invisible if you're not paying close attention, but it's one of the most powerful. The way she communicates without saying anything at all. Her eyes linger longer than casual interest. Her tone softens when she talks to you, even about trivial matters. Her body language shifts subtly. Shoulders relax, posture opens, movements unconsciously align with yours. Most men think these are flukes or friendly gestures. They aren't. They are the language of surrender, unspoken signals that she is willing to let you inside, to inhabit a space that very few people are ever invited to occupy. Listen to the pauses in her speech. A woman on the verge of giving herself to you doesn't rush to fill every silence. She allows the gaps to exist almost as if she's leaving room for you to step in, not with words, but with presence. She watches how you handle quiet moments, how your energy fills them, because that is where she measures your emotional reliability. If you panic or perform, she will retract. If you meet the silence with calm and understanding, she leans further in. This is subtle, but it's a profound test of whether you are safe enough to hold her without expectation or pressure. Notice her laughter. It's not the casual, polite kind. It's deep, resonant, often spilling over at moments you didn't intend to be funny. This is vulnerability disguised as joy. She laughs more freely around you because she feels seen and accepted, because she trusts your reaction won't wound her. When a woman laughs in this way, she's giving you access to her most unguarded self, and that is a rare form of intimacy most men miss entirely. Another indicator is the way she handles jealousy or competition. She doesn't provoke or manipulate, but subtle tension in her expression. The way she glances at your interactions with others reveals she cares deeply about exclusivity. Not because she's controlling, but because she's emotionally invested. A woman ready to give herself fully is discerning. She is protective of her time, energy, and affection, which means the moment she starts carving space specifically for you, she is signaling something profound. She is inviting you into a trust few men earn. Then, there's the rhythm of her attention. She doesn't overwhelm you with constant messages or demands for reassurance. She paces her presence intentionally, creating a pattern where her focus on you is noticeable but never suffocating. This creates anticipation and signals deliberation. She is not casual. Every interaction is weighted with intention. Even when it appears light or playful, her mind is measuring, assessing, and choosing the moment she engages because she understands the value of emotional investment. Finally, watch how she touches you, not physically, but emotionally. She mirrors your mood subtly, absorbs your energy, and reacts in ways that reflect deep attunement. These are signs of someone beginning to fuse parts of herself with your presence. She is letting you into her inner world incrementally, testing whether you can hold it without breaking it. This is far more significant than physical desire. It is emotional surrender, the precursor to full intimacy. When a woman demonstrates this quiet alignment, she is essentially saying, I trust you. I am ready to give myself if you are capable of receiving me fully. Few men recognize it. Fewer act accordingly. But the ones who do will encounter a depth of connection that feels almost sacred. The fifth hidden sign is the culmination of everything you've been missing. If you didn't notice the first four, it's the way she allows herself to be completely unfiltered around you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. She stops performing, stops impressing, stops worrying about how she's perceived. Her laughter is genuine, her frustration honest, her desire unmistakable. This level of openness doesn't come lightly. It only comes when she senses that you can handle the full spectrum of her being without judgment, without fleeing, without trying to fix her. When she's willing to show all sides, her strength, her vulnerability, her fears, her passions, She's signaling the deepest form of trust possible, the decision to give herself entirely to you. Notice how she reacts when you share your inner world. She doesn't just nod or offer empty encouragement. She listens, absorbs, responds thoughtfully. She asks questions that dig deeper rather than surface level curiosity. She remembers what you reveal about your past, your struggles, your dreams, and integrates it into her perception of you. This is rare. Many women listen, but few engage with the intent to connect on this foundational level. When she does, it means she's preparing a space for mutual emotional surrender, a space where two people exist without pretense, where loyalty is natural and desire grows from shared understanding, not manipulation. You'll also notice her protective instincts, not overbearing control, but subtle guardianship over your emotional and mental well-being. She checks in not because she's worried, but because she cares about your stability and your growth. She supports without enabling, challenges without belittling, and pushes without fear of rejection. A woman who is ready to give herself is invested in your entire being, not just in fleeting moments of pleasure or admiration. Physical intimacy may follow, but it is no longer the priority. Her desire to share herself is holistic, encompassing trust, loyalty, vulnerability, and emotional interdependence. Every glance, every touch, every word is layered with intention. You don't just feel attraction, you feel a profound recognition, as if she's opening a door to a world that only a few people ever enter. This is why men often misread it as casual attention. The intensity is subtle but undeniable. Finally, the ultimate sign is the lingering impact she leaves on you. After every interaction, you feel more grounded, more seen, more understood. You notice yourself thinking differently, aspiring higher, feeling safer in your own skin. She is reshaping your inner world simply by existing fully around you. A woman who is willing to give herself is not just a companion. She is a catalyst, a mirror, a force that demands depth from the man who stands with her. If you've recognized any of these signs in your relationships, don't take them lightly. These are rare signals, subtle yet heavy with meaning. Most men will overlook them and wonder why the woman slips away. But those who see, understand, and respond with integrity, patience, and depth will experience a connection that is transformative, rare, and unforgettable. Now, I want you to pause for a second and reflect. If she is showing you these signs, how much of yourself are you willing to match her depth with? Write your answer in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear.